Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at Ethereum. We're going to go over what we think is going to happen within these moves and some alternate possibilities that we might see within this and where we think it will go if those happen. Before we jump into the price analysis, I'd just like to say thank you for watching the video. If you're enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed, and why not turn on that bell notification so you never miss a video. Also, leave us some feedback down below in the comment section. Okay, so let's jump into it. So we were talking about the fact that we could, in yesterday's video, we were talking about the fact that we can read this 5-wave move in a couple of ways. And for the most part, we can just read it as it's shown here. The only issue I have with this is the fact that the fourth wave is quite small in comparison to this wave 2. So basically, both of these options are still looking for that fifth wave to the upside. The only difference is that effectively the other option has an additional fifth wave. So we're going to talk about that in a second. But what we'd be looking for here is I was looking for this to have an ABC formation to the downside here. And this is a typical area we could look to move with this fourth wave. So we've already come into it. I was expecting us to move a little bit lower here. And it is possible that we could come down and test this 1240 to this 1231 area. The internal structure here is a bit choppy, to be honest. So we could argue that this is all an A wave into this low point. Then this could be a B wave to the upside, and we're looking for that C. If that's the case, effectively we'd still be targeting out that zone which we talked about previously. So the 1-to-1 would bring us down to this 1228 zone. If we look at this as the B wave point there, though it is also possible this could be just a complex correction in the B wave, and actually what happens is our A wave is here, in which case this does slightly change the target area and we would be looking more towards this 1231 zone. However, for as long as we stay above this 1242, we need to be aware that we could start to progress to the upside here. So the typical area would be looking off of this current zone as a fifth wave, would be up here at this 1289 to this 1279 zone. So we are still looking for this progression to the upside here. The structure, like I said, within here is quite choppy. It is possible we could argue that we have potential triangle forming within here, where this becomes an A, B, looking for this as a C, D, and then an E, and then we'd look to break to the upside. Though with that triangle potential, breaking down below this 1242 and also breaking back above, if we were looking at that as a B wave high here, what we would be not looking to do is cross back above this 1255. If we cross back above that, it invalidates any potential of a triangle. However, like I said, it is also possible that we just form this C wave to the downside here, and that could potentially go as low as this 1231. It depends exactly where we look at this A wave ending. If it ends here, then this could just be the first leg of a move to the downside, where we have this as an A, we come back up, and then we have that C wave to the downside. Though breaking back above this point here would invalidate this C wave down, as I've shown here. Though we would still need to be aware we could still face rejection of to the upside at this 1257 all the way up to this sort of 786 zone, which is this 1266. So this B wave could actually not be completed either, where this is an A, this is a B, and then we're forming that as a C wave to the upside, and that would be looking at sort of a higher range here for this B wave top, and then dropping off for this C wave. So we just need to give it a bit of time. For the most part, we've actually come into the zone. I'd prefer a move down to this 382 or to this 50%, to be honest with you. It would make the move neater, but it is possible that we could actually just start to move away from here. Though, like I said, losing this 1242 zone would basically make us look for this lower price, in my opinion. So if we're looking at this as a 5-wave move, as we have it indicated here, Effectively, the invalidation of the teal fifth wave comes by dropping back below this 1201.63. So we'd have to drop quite a way for this to become invalidated. But we'd probably get some indication within the structure that it was going to be at that point anyway. But I do think that we have a little bit more space to the downside here. Like I said, it is potentially it's come into the zone, so it can always move away. So we just need to be aware of that. And then we could look to just move up into this fifth wave zone. And if we are following this option where we just have this this shorter fourth wave here, then effectively that would be a completed move. If I just jump back onto this, so this is the other way we were looking at this move, where we actually have potential to push up a bit higher in this C wave. And the way that we'd be looking at it differently is the fact that instead of looking at this as a wave 3 here, we're looking at the wave 3 at this higher point here. This would also then make this wave 2 more in relation to this wave 4. So in size-wise, so it is possible that we still actually have an additional fourth and a fifth to the upside here. Though we will have to monitor this and see how we go. So we could have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4. We haven't got confirmation of these fifth waves yet, so we need to just bear that in mind. Breaking down below these points here, especially, well, on this option it would be much higher up, would be this 1224 zone. Breaking below that 1224 zone would actually indicate that we are going to break down, and yeah, if we drop that low, I wouldn't, the fifth wave of this teal move actually becomes less likely as well if we're looking at the other option. So basically within this option, like I said, the only difference with this is we got an additional fourth and fifth. So we'll have to see how this plays out. If we do get a push up here into this box area, I'd want to see how we react again around this zone of where we're consolidating now, or potentially where this fourth wave ends if it pushes a little bit lower. But yeah, within this option, we wouldn't really want to come down too much lower than this 1283 as a, sorry, this 1238 as a sort of a maximum for this fourth wave. I'd really want to see it start to move away. If we start to break down below this, it doesn't invalidate this fifth wave as the white fifth wave here, but it makes it less likely that it's within the same structure, and then it would be more likely that potentially we're in the other 5-wave move. So that's what I'm looking out for here. It is also possible, like we talked about yesterday, we have to just be aware that there is potential ways of counting this as a completed move into this high point, and instead of looking at this as a C wave, what we could do, because like I said, we haven't got that confirmation of that additional fourth and fifth here, so we could also just look at this basically as a W, an X, and a Y, and this plays out as a 3-wave move rather, where this is an A, a B, and a C, and then basically we have this as a oh, wrong one. Let's try that again. This is an A, this is a B, and this is a C wave, and that could actually break, and that could just start to break down from here. If that is the case, effectively what we'd be looking at is this would be our high point here, and we wouldn't be expecting to go back above it. Though the thing is, looking at the stochastics on the 1 hour and the 4 hour, also the 8 hours, the 8 hour is still high, but the 1 hour and the 4 hour have still got are showing that they've got room to the upside to grow. So it is possible that we could look for some upside potential here. Though it'll be the real key is whether we can break back above this 1272 zone. If we fail to do so, it's possible we could have some kind of a diagonal within this move here, forming. The structure is not great at the moment, but effectively what we would want to do is, if we're looking for that upside, we would want to move back above. If I go, okay, this low may change, but if we're looking at this as a completed move here, this we'd want to get back above this 786 at this 1266. That would be a good indication that we're actually going to look to progress with that fifth wave. Failing to do so and finding rejection within this 50% to this 786, so this 1266 to this 1257 range, that could indicate that we could be setting up for a deeper move here as a 5-wave move. Though we wouldn't have confirmation until we obviously hit that third wave, typical third wave area. But if we start to break some of these high points and some of these beginnings of the moves here, it becomes more likely that we actually could look to break down. And we were talking about this previously in a different way, so we can look at it that way. This is the problem at the moment. There's so many ways we can look at this, because even within this WXY that we're talking about here, a couple of days ago, we were talking about the possibility we could have had this as a triangle in a Y wave. So this would be a W, X, and then a Y wave triangle within this, in which case this would become a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So either way we want to count this, it is potentially it is possible that we could be looking for completion. This target area has changed slightly now because we've come down deeper. But if we can also argue that this could be completed, like with the other wave structure we were looking at, in which case this would be a completed WXY to the upside, and we could look to actually start to break down. So it'll be important to see how we react around these zones and see if we actually start to break down from here, or if we do manage to find that support and then push back up above this high point. For as long as we stay below this 1272.60 zone, though, we need to be aware that this can always start to progress to the downside and take out some of these key areas that we were looking at. Okay, so we're going to leave the video there. I hope everyone found it useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already, and why not leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find the link to Discord. Why not come jump in there, have a chat with us. You can just mention a member of the staff and we'll help you out with anything that you need a hand with. Also in the description, you'll find affiliate link to BYBIT. This is a great exchange. If you haven't got an account with BYBIT, I would really recommend signing up, because it has such good risk management tools, and we're going to be starting a whole bunch of content regarding trading within it and such. So yeah, that'll all be in the Discord. So why not come down and have a look? Okay, everybody, hope you have a great day. We'll talk to you in the next video. Keep safe out there.